like you said, if this was, Eric Trump, with Donald paying for a prostitute, CNN would have a field day.
Like weeks they would cover it.
Well, there is an allegation of Donald Trump paying Stormy Daniels some hush money, which she has testified, I believe, twice under oath did not happen before she decided there was more money in claiming it did happen.
So Hunter is into more prostitutes, more drugs, and this time it's tied to his dad's credit card. So Hunter Biden had a weekend spent at a luxury hotel in Los Angeles, California, called Chateau Marmont. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Do not speak French, but it is French. Anyways, he hired a Russian prostitute from a service, and she came and spent the weekend with Hunter Biden because that's the type of things Hunter Biden does. He did crack with her. I think they smoked pot, all kinds of crazy stuff, got drunk together. And then it came time for Hunter Biden to pay. And
settle the bill.
Yes. He racked up a bill of $8,000 with the prostitute for the weekend. And
so many questions. Yes. So many questions. None of which are appropriate for WJ Live, but so many questions.
There are things
$8,000.
Yes, there are things that I'm reading that they did that I cannot repeat.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
or YouTube would for sure ban us from ever coming back.
Especially if we're talking about Hunter Biden. If we're saying about Donald Trump, they'd probably promote the show.
Front page, yeah. So, anyways, he racked up an $8,000 bill. Hunter tries to pay using some debit cards, and his cards get declined. Classic. So then he switches to a credit card, and
I just love how, real quick, I love how the story went from something so explicit and dark to a problem that most high school kids deal with. My debit card was declined.
Usually it's
I feel like if you're dealing with Hunter Biden, you should probably collect the money up front. Whatever the transaction is, sex or drugs or whatever it is that he's buying from you, go ahead and just get the money up front.
Yeah, that's probably a smart move. So then he pulls out a Wells Fargo credit card, and that gets declined too. His bank sends him, this could be potential fraud alert. So he can't convince the bank to pay his prostitute. So eventually, Hunter goes to sleep. And the next morning he wakes up and all of the transactions that he had tried to make went through overnight. And they end up totaling $25,000 in payments to a prostitute. And they get into a text exchange. And
it's quite a tip.
Yes. Yes. And so Hunter starts demanding the money back. And she says, it's failing to be sent back. I can't send it back, blah, 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 blah. Well, then there's a situation the next morning with a Secret Service agent. And from as far as we can tell, this Secret Service agent was retired at the time of the incident, along with his partner. But they had previously worked with Joe Biden and Hunter Biden. But just to be clear, Hunter and Joe both shouldn't have had Secret Service protection at this time. Joe was no longer VP, so there was no reason for Hunter to have it.
Sounds like maybe these might have been members of Joe's protective detail who retired when he left. He left and went on his payroll, maybe.
That's my guess. So I'm going to display a set of text messages from that morning. So as we can see, this guy named Rob says he's downstairs in the lobby and he's asking for Hunter to come down.
By the way, if I recall correctly from this story, when Hunter emailed or whatever the contact method is to the prostitute.
Yeah.
I believe he introduced himself as Rob. I know he didn't quite use Hunter.
Yeah, he did.
I think he called himself Rob.
He said, "Hi, my name is Rob.
Yeah, so
are you available now?"
So if I'm Hunter's protective detail, I'm probably not super happy about that.
No.
Anyway.
So something has tipped these guys off.
That's class. That's class.
That something is up. So he says, I'm in the lobby. Come down. Thanks, Rob. Hunter says 5 minutes. And then this is the key part. Rob says, come on, H. This is linked to Celtic's account. DC is calling me every 10. Let me up or come down. I can't help you if you don't let me. And the key name in there, you guys notice the code name in that text message?
Sure.
Celtic. That was Joe Biden's Secret Service code name when he was vice president. Yes. So
What was Obama's?
I don't know.
You're Hawaiian. You tell us what it
I
is.
have
tell us.
about a
maybe-
half dozen jokes just went through my head, and
Maybe
again,
if
I
you're
don't
from
want to get
Kenya to
us.
have
I don't want to get us
understand
banned
this
from
goddamn-
YouTube.
Yeah.
But about a half a dozen jokes just ran through my head.
So this makes it sound like Hunter Biden's finances, those credit cards, were tied to Joe Biden, and it alerted someone in Washington, D.C., either at an intelligence agency or something, because he mentions Joe Biden's code name. And then later that night, Hunter spends like 4 hours trying to log into a secret encrypted government website, which is super mysterious, tied with all this stuff. And then it gets even better.
Here we go.
Hunter gets banned from the hotel
Yeah.
the next week
yeah, that
over
should have
drug
happened
use
4 years
and all
prior,
kinds of stuff.
probably.
So there's a lot of questions here. There's the question about the Secret Service involvement. There's, this is basically Hunter committing a crime, paying a prostitute. That's illegal everywhere. So we have Hunter caught in a crime, which he has never gotten in trouble for, never faced consequences or responsibility for. But the question that really is on my mind is, what does this say about Hunter Biden and Joe Biden's finances, the closeness of their finances? And we talk so much about whether Joe was involved in Hunter Biden's foreign business dealings. And this makes it seem like their finances were closely tied. Do you guys think this deserves further review about, the closeness of their finances? Do you think there's more going on?
Yeah, I mean, by the logic of, or the logic that we've seen in the 4 years prior to Biden's presidency, so Trump's presidency, didn't take much to be like, that's a crime.
Right.
He must be punished. And,
Investigation, right.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
this, the over the top, just, pretending like you care about what's right when really there's clearly an agenda here. Like, let's be real here. Like if this, and Joey, I think you and I talked about this a bit before in the newsroom earlier today, but like you said, if this was, Eric Trump, with Donald paying for a prostitute, CNN would have a field day. Like
Weeks they would cover it.
Well,
Yeah.
there is an allegation of Donald Trump paying Stormy Daniels some hush money, which she has testified, I believe, twice under oath did not happen before she decided there was more money in claiming it did happen.
Yeah.
So, so there's no evidence. You have denial from both parties there, and the media wouldn't let that go. Here we have clear evidence that it has happened. And the media doesn't want to touch it. It's a hot potato. They're terrified of it.